I'm Chris Lemons. I'm an associate professor in the Graduate School of Education here at Stanford University. And I'm also the co-director of the Stanford Down Syndrome Research Center. The main text of the science of reading, although it is getting a little old at this point, um, students with cognitive disabilities were excluded for almost every single study in that body. And so colleagues like Jill Allure at Southern Methodist University, Diane Browder in North Carolina, and myself, we have really spent the last decade trying to figure out, okay, what components of the science of reading actually work with students with Down syndrome or students with other intellectual and developmental disabilities. And through that body of work, we've really shown that the science of reading still is very important for this group of learners. And many of the strategies, so including focusing on those big five, providing instruction that's very explicit and systematic, those are things that are highly beneficial to this population of students. I think some of the things that we see we might need to just take into a little more consideration for this population are some limits on working memory and how we scaffold that. Thinking about data collection and how we make sure that we're providing teachers with good information and good data. And then I think one of the things that I think is also interesting is just the timing of learning, that when we're thinking about maybe students who are now moving into middle school but they're still working on early phonics skills, how do we do that in ways that are age appropriate, that are interesting? And then I also think it's important that we're always, in the context of reading with this population of learners, that we're always kind of projecting forward to age 22, when students finish with the IDEA K to 21 school system, and thinking about, employment, independence, life satisfaction. And I do think it's really interesting, as we're considering reading for this population, to make sure that we're really being more comprehensive than we might be for other learners.